Everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a college Q&A with some of my friends from UF, FSU, and USF. So stay tuned to get some of your questions answered. I put up a poll on my Instagram and Snapchat, and some of you guys responded with some really good questions. So we're going to be answering those questions and talking about how college is like now that, tours have been canceled and you guys are on virtual tours. So you can hear it firsthand from freshmen at these universities how their freshman year went and like some things to look out for as freshmen. So I hope you guys enjoy. Name what university you go to and your major and minor, or two majors or whatever. So I'll go first. So I'm Pragnya. I go to USF, as you can see in the background, and I'm majoring in biomedical science and political science.
I'm Brianna McMurchie. I go to the University of South Florida as well, and I am majoring in industrial engineering.
Rita, I go to University of Florida, and I'm majoring in psychology and art.
I'm Zara, so I go to Florida State University, and I major in biological sciences and minor in chemistry.
I'm Ruchi. I also go to USF, and I'm majoring in microbiology and minoring in public health.
My name is Meghna. I'm a student at USF, and I'm majoring in accounting and business analytics and information systems with minors in writing and economics.
It was from a high schooler, and she asked, so this is her question, she's not sure whether to take dual enrollment English or AP. What did you do? / like which one is more beneficial, I guess.
I would definitely take dual enrollment English. Like, I think getting ENC 1101 and 1102 out of the way is super beneficial when you get into college, especially if you think you can get an A in those classes like early on, like in high school.
Yeah, because not every college will accept AP credits, but most colleges will recognize a credit from another college. So,
well, to piggyback off of that, it does depend on depending on the university, but here in Florida, if you do take a dual enrollment class in high school, most Florida universities will accept it. And you have a better chance of doing good in like a dual enrollment class than you do getting like a 5 on an AP exam. And so you have a better chance at getting the credit if you take dual enrollment than if you take an AP class.
So I took both AP Lit and AP Lang and dual enrollment 1101 and 1102. And dual enrollment was definitely much easier, and it's a lot easier for those credits to transfer over as well. And depending on your teacher is most likely going to be trained in how to do college level writing, which is what dual enrollment uses compared to what AP uses, which basically prepares you just for that exam. So college writing is much different than what AP teaches you. So in the long run, dual enrollment writing would be better.
So the second question is, how hard is it to transition from high school to college?
I think I can speak a little bit to this. So I guess it depends on your comfort level. So if you're like a pretty independent person going into college, you're gonna have a less hard time transitioning between, home and like a new place. For me, it took like a week. Like definitely the first week was like the hardest for me. I was like, oh, like I miss like being at home with my parents, and now I have to do all this stuff on my own. But honestly, like you kind of get used to the life, and I like it better now a little bit, but yeah.
I think everybody who went to Middleton, or most people who went to Middleton, were lucky in that because most of us took dual enrollment and FLVS classes and kind of overloaded ourselves. We were used to having a very heavy course load, which helps us a lot in dealing with the amount of work that college needs. But one of the biggest things is learning how to manage your time on your own, because your teachers don't care to remind you about assignments. Usually they're not going to make you work. They're not going to guide you step by step. So you have to be willing to do a lot of the work, keep track of the deadlines by yourself, and keep yourself on track.
I think in general, like the high school to college transition is probably easier than like most people say it is. I think like even if you go to like a community college or a university, I think it's just like organizing and time management is like something you need to like
do throughout high school and do throughout college, which will help you like stay on track of everything. I think that's like the biggest thing that I think college students struggle with is time management and like organization skills, which is why it may seem like some people have a harder time in college versus high school. Is how hard are classes compared to high school?
So it really depends on the class in my experience. So I am an engineering major. So like because of the high school that we went to and the magnet program that we had at the high school, it was really, really good compared to some of the things I'm experiencing right now at the University of South Florida. But it's not, I think it just depends on like where you come from, because like other people say that the classes are very useful, but as someone that has a lot of background in engineering, like the classes specifically devoted to my major are like not as helpful to me. And so they're easy to me because I've already like learned the material and I already have a lot of background in it. But for someone that doesn't have background, it might be a lot harder because it's your first time being exposed to all of this new material like CAD and things like that. So it just depends on your like background, at least in terms of like engineering classes. But other classes, a lot of it depends on your professor. So if you have a good professor, then you're probably going to have like a great time in your classes because you're going to like actually learn, and the class is going to be organized and structured, and you're going to be able to get help if you need it. But if you don't have a very good professor, then their grading can be unfair and everything could be way harder than it needs to be because of the way that they approach the curriculum and the way that they test you and things like that.
And so how much studying per day / week do you do? I think like studying, you should spread out per day. So like when teachers tell you after class to like go and review your notes, you should definitely go and review your notes. I've ignored it like a lot of times. Or professor, like I have a bio professor who's like every class, he's like, make sure you go and review your notes like right after this class. But I always put it off. But I think reviewing your notes and like, I don't know, like studying concepts or like going through the textbook, doing practice questions, making like a Quizlet on like important vocabulary. Like if you do it gradually from like when you learn the material to the day before the test, you'll probably be better prepared than like studying like just the week of the test.
Yeah, like I know for me, like during lectures, like I'll normally just like type out like notes within the lecture, but then I'll like normally like a day after or like that day I'll like rewrite the notes to like kind of study, and like the week before like the test I'll like go through the notes. And like I live with like a couple of roommates, so like me and my best friend, we live together, so like I'll like essentially like teach her like my notes, if even though like she has like no idea what's going on in that class, but it like helps me learn. So I feel like that's like another like good study strategy, way to study, I guess.
Next question is it easy to change your major in your first semester of college with no stress?
From mechanical engineering to industrial engineering. So it wasn't a huge change for me because it's still the College of Engineering. But I went and I talked to my advisor and I like filled out a form, and like that was it. It was not difficult at all. I know it's a lot harder if you have to switch colleges and stuff like that, but I definitely recommend, like if you have an inkling that like you might want to change your major, you should definitely like look at the courses, look at the flow chart, and like look at the classes that you're taking at the time, because the sooner you change your major, the better, because then you won't get like pushed behind and you can still like, you know, graduate on time, which is ideal. So
I'm pretty sure all of us have like something on our own. Like we have one UF, you guys have Oasis. I'm not sure what FSU has, like, but whatever, you can like degree audit, right? You can see like what you're missing in terms of classes for whatever major you want to do. That's like a great way to figure out what you need, what you have, if changing your major works the best for you or not. But yeah, I switched between colleges, so that didn't really take that long. I was art and I wanted to add on another major, so I had to go and talk to like different advisors, and they were okay with that. They just added it.
So I know for FSU, my roommate, she's an engineering major and she was biomedical, but she wanted to go into mechanical. And talking to her advisor, like luckily for FSU students, like first year engineering, people who haven't had like engineering credits like prior, like they all take like the same basic engineering classes. So I know like once you do that, it's easier to switch from one engineering to another. But I know like later on, like if you do it around like your second year, even like it's definitely harder. So I would say like if you're thinking about changing your major, if you have questions, like earlier on would definitely be a better like place to change it rather than like later on.
So best places to study / what's your favorite spot to chill on campus or your favorite spot to do your homework?
Fourth floor of the MSC, the Marshall Student Center at USF. The SkyPad, it's got like cool booths and stuff, and like you can just sit there and chill, and it's usually pretty quiet, and there's like vending machines and a microwave. Sometimes it gets loud if the gamers are there, you know. Otherwise, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, our student center is pretty nice too. I think it's like new. I'm not sure, but I don't know. It's like full of study spaces. I really like Marston Library, Marston Gang, but there are definitely like tons of libraries, and they all have space. And there's like a lot of outside space that's really nice to just sit down and study. It's usually quiet on campus anyway, so.
Myth or reality, homework is always optional, so it's up to you to do it or not. I think it depends on your class, because all the classes I've been in so far, homework is mandatory. None of it has been optional.
Homework's not worth much, but usually they are like 1% of your grade. So even if you do them really badly, it's better than not doing them at all. Most of the homework we get though, it's like it only helps you.
Yeah.
So you should do it anyway. Like.
Yeah, no, like the first semester I like barely did homework, so I kind of struggled, but like the second semester I did do my homework, so it was better. So I would advise doing homework.
I go to the University of South Florida, and I am a psychology major with a criminology minor.
Question is, what materials do I buy? Notebook or iPad? What about textbooks?
Your professors will tell you what textbooks to buy. Sometimes you'll buy a textbook that's really expensive and you won't end up using it. But unfortunately, professors are not always good about letting you know when that's going to happen. So then you just drop like $200 for no reason. But in terms of other materials, like I definitely recommend having a good laptop. And you could probably make do with just a laptop and your textbooks.
Do not buy any textbook before the first week of class, because your teacher will most likely not include on the syllabus that, oh, by the way, I'm only just including this because the administration requires me to. We won't ever use this in class. They will say something like that on the first day, or you might end up dropping that class and you'll buy it for no reason. But in terms of what textbooks you might need, USF Bookstore has a really nice system where you can type in your U number, and for all of the classes that you're registered for, it'll pull up what textbooks are required for that class. So it's a nice way to get a preview. Some textbooks are only available through the bookstore. I don't know if this is true for other colleges, but some textbooks are only required or are only available through the bookstore. But for those that aren't, always check other sites like Amazon or eBay or something like that, or figure out if you can rent the book, because a lot of these are unnecessarily expensive.
If you look up like the ISBN number of the book, like when you find what like specific textbook, if you literally put it in Google, you'll find like PDFs of it. Like, I don't know, I found like a PDF of my ethics textbook for like $20 when if you buy it at like the bookstore, it's like 100 and something. So like, it really just, it depends. Next question is, what should I do if I want to double major? So I'm like in the process of adding political science as my second major right now. So what my advisor told me, well, first I wanted to add it as a minor, so I did that. So I like have it as a minor right now, but then I decided I wanted to see like what would happen, like would I be able to graduate on time? Like the most important thing is like graduating on time, because like the university does not want to keep you forever. They want you to graduate within like your 4 to 5 years and like leave. and do something else, like whether that's come back for like a graduate program or like whatever it is. So I think that's like the first thing is like checking after like your first semester to see if it's plausible. I came in with a lot of credits already, so for me it was like essentially adding nothing to my like graduation time. But I had to add political science as a minor first, and then once I finish my minor class, which I'm in right now, I can change it to a double major. So it was like kind of a long process. At the end of the semester, I can convert my minor into a major, just because like the political science department, that's like the way they make a second major, like that's their protocol stuff. But I think it's different for every like major slash like college. Yeah, definitely talk to whatever advisor you want to add, like from whatever college. And Tika, what university do you go to, and what's your major slash any minors?
So I go to Florida State, but you can't see it. Hold on. Florida State University. My major is mechanical engineering. I just woke up, that's why I sound like that. I'm sorry. My major is mechanical engineering, and then I have a minor in physics just because I'm gonna have to take all the physics classes anyway, so I figured it would just overlap the best.
Like, when do you meet with your advisor once you decide what university you're going to?
Good choice on going to USF, because it's obviously the best university in all of Florida. But you can really meet as early as you want. I'm a bit obsessive, so I met with my advisor before I graduated high school. So as soon as I accepted, I went on the university website, decided what courses I wanted to take, made a 3-year plan, and then I got an appointment to meet up with the advisor within the next week.
I know at FSU, typically they have like, so we either orientation leader or orientation like advisor, and then we make our schedule for the first semester, and then within like 2 weeks of the semester starting, they want you to come in and do this thing called advising first. And you just go in, there's like a group of people within like your same major, and they just kind of talk to you, they get to like know you, and then you kind of stick with that person. Like I know for me in biology, like we stick with that advisor for like the rest of like college. And then after you meet with them first, then you can go in whenever you want and just kind of like talk about your schedule or talk about whatever you need. So I know that's how FSU works.
Coming to UF, at least they have preview online, and half of preview is just registering for classes basically. So I don't know what the structure is this year. The preview advisors, like they know because they're like students. So at least when it comes to like gen eds and like most freshman classes, they have like a good understanding of like what should be taken when. But I'm pretty sure you meet with like advisors from your college too. I don't know what they're doing, like if they're going to do it over Zoom. Like I met with my advisor over Zoom to talk about something else. I'm just assuming they're doing the same thing for that too. But yeah, so you would have a pretty solid schedule for fall. Like you shouldn't, like I don't think freshmen need to worry about that necessarily. I think in fall when they come and once they get like used to their classes and stuff, a good thing would be to like go to like a pre-health advisor or their college advisor or whatever and make like a plan. And even if like, you know, you can't get like the seats in the class every semester that you planned it out the exact way you planned it out, it's fine because there's like a lot of room for like change and flexibility. Usually they're not going to be too hard on you if you couldn't get a specific class one semester, like you'll be okay. But yeah, I think it's just good practice to like go to an advisor and just make sure the classes you have are like good for what you need to graduate or what you want to do. Like,
heard anything about the USF English program? Are there any unique opportunities offered?
Specifically for the undergraduate degree, I'm pretty sure they have 3 concentrations. They have one in creative writing, they have one in literature, and they also have one in professional writing, rhetoric, and technology. The last one is what I'm minoring in. But in general, I know that there's a lot of flexibility in each of them, and you can kind of decide which direction you want to take it. But for a lot of people, I spoke with a couple of people who are majoring in English, specifically in literature, because that was what I was interested in. But the teachers are generally very good. Like they have a lot of experience in writing. They have a lot of experience in helping students develop their own writing.
Honors college, is it worth it?
I think honors college for me is worth it because I'm a psych major, and in order to be able to do stuff with my degree, it's super beneficial for me to get my PhD. So I think doing the thesis is good, but there's also an option to do capstone, which is more like a project, and you don't have to stick with anything that's like specific to your major. So I could do like a cool picture and talk about art for however long um, for my honors capstone if I really wanted to, or I could write a paper about something for my thesis. So it just kind of depends. But
Also, a benefit, like Megan was saying, scholarships. I got a $10,000 scholarship for studying abroad through the Honors College. So, yeah, there's a lot of good opportunities in the Honors College. And if you have the time, do it. Like, I wouldn't recommend it for like an engineering major because that's just adding more to your already 5 years of college. But for like people that have room in their schedule, honors college isn't really like,
It is really beneficial, I think, here because you get to register for some of your classes early, and I think because of like how many people are trying to certain classes, it's really helpful to be able to do that before everyone else. Also, if you have enough like dual enrollment credits coming in, I'm pretty sure you can register early too. But yeah, sometimes those 10 credits could like make the difference between like what you take between 3 years of college. So like if you can't get that class that semester, you might have to take next semester, and that might shift like everything for like a certain course load. Like your science courses, they have to go in order. So if you can't get one semester, then it kind of changes the plans for everything. So it's beneficial to have that. Now for incoming freshmen, you already know whether you're honors or not. So for housing, it doesn't really matter for you guys. Like I know Hume is like a little bit better. So Hume Honors is like the place you'd be allowed to live if you got into honors. And the quality of the dorms are nice, so it's a plus being an honors student in that aspect. I know they have like some extra opportunities for honors kids too. So like
So I know at FSU, like they send out emails saying like to apply for honors. And I originally didn't because I didn't feel like I needed it, like at least like my first semester or like my first year, and I would apply for it later on. But if you're wanting to be an FSU student, apply for it when they send you that email, because I don't think you could do it after your first year. So definitely check that. And then I know honors kids do get a lot of like special things. They have their own like dorm room called Landis, and it's supposed to be really like nice compared to the other ones. And I know that they have like special classes, so like all of honors, like their classes are like really small compared to everybody else. They get to register before, so I definitely think if you get that email, definitely like apply for honors and everything.
Everything we're saying is just like our opinion. It's not related to the university whatsoever. I'm just going to put that out there, like disclaimer. This has nothing to do with the university. It's just like our experience and opinions.
Very subjective.
Yeah. So it'll be different for everyone.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any more questions. I will link everyone's Instagram handles in the description box below. So if you do have any questions about a particular university, you could message them on Instagram. You could also leave a comment down below and I will try to respond the best I can. I can also have them respond through the comments if you guys are interested in that. Be sure to look out for part 2 because this video was very long, so it's going to be in 2 parts. So if you guys are interested in more college videos, make sure to leave a comment and I will try to do those. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.